punting gods on side.
We do. What a great introduction, Frame Train. Inside Feed Punters Club, absolutely reeling from an absolute fucking horrible last weekend. Couple of bad weekends. Wednesday's been not too bad, but although today I had a 3-leg multi and they all ran second or third, like just can't get near it.
At least we're not alone. There was bloodbaths left, right, and centre from everyone.
So I agree. I mean, that Frame Train tipped Mwanga last week, which just should have won. Fuck me. But off the top, I think it'd be remiss of us not to just comment on Cameron Smith retiring Frame Train. I thought for sure he was going to play on, but gone.
One of the more interesting contract negotiations and retirement announcements, obviously there was interest from clubs right up until the very end. But I'd love to be a fly on the wall or to know all the juicy details about what went on with the different clubs that were chasing him, his management, the Storm. I don't know, probably sell 1 million books one day on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he just released one not long ago, so this will be chapter 2 or copy volume 2. NRL.com or something on Instagram put up a post on him just a couple of hours ago. I'll just rattle off a couple of these things. 2 times Dally M medal winner, 9-time Hooker of the Year, 5-time Captain of the Year, 7-time Storm Player of the Year, 4-time Wally Lewis medal, which is for the Origin. 2 World Cup wins, 2 Golden Boots, 2 Harry Sunderland medals, whatever the fuck they are, and 3 Club Challenge medals. Club Challenge winner 3 times with the Storm. 430 odd games, 50 odd for Queensland, 4,000 for Australia. Not a bad career for Schmitty. Love to get him on a podcast one time. I'll put that on the bucket list alongside Oprah, Carmichael Hunt, and Meghan Markle. But yeah, all said and done. I thought for sure he was going to sign with the Broncos. Breaks my heart.
Disappointing.
Breaks my heart. Frame Train racing this weekend. There's NRL. We're filming this on the Wednesday night. So racing fields have just been released for the weekend, and there's a bit of NRL and Super Rugby to chat through. So we'll whip through some racing, and then I'll put you on the spot with some NRL chat as well, because like every other week, we haven't really rehearsed anything. So we'll start at the Gold Coast racing for in Queensland, the Metro meetings at the Gold Coast on the weekend. Frame Train. I think there's a bit of rain around. It might cop like a soft track, maybe a soft 5, soft 6. What have you got at the Gold Coast this weekend, Frame Train?
I'm going to kick us off with what I think is the best bet anywhere, and that's Sugar Boom in race 3. I think it's a 900-metre race, or it's something ridiculously short. Anyway, this horse's bread and butter. Top weight mare, just goes too quick for anything else, and hopefully it can do what it does best: lead, boot away from them, and just break their hearts.
Yes, that's race 3, number 1. Yeah, absolutely with you. I think we've both got the 2 bets at the Gold Coast for Saturday. Sugar Boom is mine as well. It's actually been easy in the market. My disclaimer on this is that if it's a heavy track, I won't be backing it because it's got the 59 kilos. Michael Rod on board. If it's like a soft 5, soft 6, I'll back it for sure. On a heavy track, I've got a Nell. Will have no weight. It'll have 52 and it'll go forward, and it's a wet track specialist. So if it's a heavy track, no bet for me, but I agree. Race 3, number 1, Sugar Boom at the Gold Coast, leads and wins, hopefully. We're so lacking in confidence at the moment that this should just really turn into like a comedy sketch. What's your other bet at the Gold Coast, Frano?
Race 8, number 8. I'm playing against the $2 favourite, the $1.90 favourite. I'm going to go with Kisakano. The extreme drop in the weights is what has really got me interested. I think it had 61 last start. It's carrying 55 now, and racing against 3-year-olds. It's been a long time since that horse has raced with anywhere near that amount of weight. Missed the jump last start, ran on. I think from the good barrier, if it can use the good barrier, lead, I think like lead and win is the way that this horse wins. And yeah, with a 55, I just want to be with it. Second up or third up.
Good call.
It'll be good.
Good
$4,
call.
$4 or something, which is good dollars for this horse.
480. Race 8, number 8, Kisakano. Third up, 2 from 2. So unbeaten, wins on all sort of surfaces. Drawn barrier 3. Looks a nice bet. I agree with that one. I'll just take us back to race 5 quickly. There's a $2.40 favourite, Socialising. Lay of the day for me. I should probably tip it because that way it won't win. But I think the Candyman and Vanna Girl, the two in the top weights in that market, are far better horses over 1,400 metres than Socialising. So not sure which one to back. It'll be the Candyman or Vanna Girl, but Socialising I think is way too short. My other bet on the day is in the last. Now, if this had have drawn a barrier, I would have made it the best of the day. But it didn't. It drew barrier 20. So this is a bit of a throw at the stumps, but it's race 9, number 4, Epic Girl for Chris Anderson. Hopefully Aidan Thompson claims 2 from barrier 20. He's just going to have to go handlebars down and lead. Hopefully he does that and wins. So hopefully Epic Girl can go to the front, maybe get a cheap sectional or 2, and then give a great kick in the straight. It's been 11s into $9 already. So I'll be with Epic Girl, race 9, number 4, in the last at the Gold Coast, in what's a very competitive race again. Frayne Train will work down the Eastern Seaboard because some fucking good racing in Melbourne on the weekend. What have you got racing at Rose Hill, Coolmore Classic Day? What have you found?
Yeah, I've got 2 at Rose Hill. First one's race 5, number 7, California Zimble. So it's a favourite, but it's a good betting race with it being the favourite. I think it's about 370 at the moment on player. There's a few horses like Jungle Edge. If it gets to a sort of genuine heavy, which I've seen the forecast and there's meant to be some rain in Sydney, but not 100% sure where the track will end up. Like California Zimble handles a different type of going, but Jungle Edge obviously grows a leg if it's going to be like absolutely bottomless. There's a couple of other horses that are in the market. Order of Command's first up as well, but I just think first up with the weight, good barrier, likes Rose Hill, so I'm going to be with California Zimble.
Cool. Yeah, it does. It handles all conditions and is a good fresh horse. So that's race 5, number 5 for Frayne Train. What's your other one in Sydney, mate?
Other one in Sydney, I'm going to the last, and I've got one at a bit of value that I don't mind. Also first up, Holyfield, number 5. Good horse as well. Has been thereabouts first up. In the past, I just think it'll probably go forward. And there's a couple that potentially got Dash, obviously good horse, got a shocking barrier. Also likes to go forward, so I don't know where it'll map from the run. Zakat will go back and be there in the finish, but I think Rose Hill short of straight. Its racing pattern doesn't do any favors, and I just think with the $9.50, Tommy Berry on board, Annabelle Neesham, good trainer, it'll be there, putting itself on speed, making its own luck, and just a really good each way price.
Yeah, I like that. I think I said this last week and we had an absolute nightmare, but I'm liking where your head's at this weekend. All right, that's race 9, number 5 for the Frayne Train, Evander Holyfield, or just Holyfield in the last. Frayne, I've got 3 in Sydney, actually. My first bet will be, I've got to back up again on Great House in the first race. Had it as our best fortnight ago. Sort of made a long run and then peaked on its run. So hopefully here, 4th up, Tommy Berry and Chris Waller, about 210. Scared stiff of Welsh Legend, which is also Chris Waller, but I'll be back in Great House in the first. Leaving it till quite late after that. I think race 4, if there's no rain, which I think you said there might be, Colette's really under the odds at $1.50 in race 4. So I'm just going to be letting her go round without mine. If it is a wet track, she'll win by 20 lengths. But on a good track, very concerned about that price. My other 2, the first one's the Coolmore for me, race 7 at Rose Hill. I'm with a horse that won first up at Flemington, and it was backed like 10s into 380. This is a great betting race, this one. Like if you're keen on one here or something's been good to you, like this horse's Mizzy was great last week, running second to who? I forget.
Coolmore's always a good race.
It is, yeah.
Coolmore is always a good betting race. they've got 6-7 in the field, and there's just chances everywhere.
I agree.
I mean,
I could back Sweet Deal. Crone was outstanding last start. For Forbidden Love won well. Ice Bath at a pinch. But I'm going down to Shalo for Archie Alexander, which again won the last, I think it was at Flemington a fortnight ago. And he is second up. Hasn't drawn great. I'm hoping it's not a mad leader bias at Rose Hill on Saturday, but I think the big field should hopefully negate that. If we get 3 wide cover, that would be good. At about $8 keen on Shalo. In the Coolmore, the Group 1 at race 7 Rose Hill. So race 7, number 14. And then my bet of the day, Frayne, is in the Ajax Stakes, which is race 8. I'm going to be with this horse around a fortnight ago. I was at the Noosa Surf Club, and I think every punter, every barmaid, kitchen hand, raffle ticket seller was on this, and it flew home and ran second. That's Crea Dearest. So my best of the day is race 8, number 11, Crea Dearest. It's just drawn barrier 1. It'll go back. It'll just need a pinch of luck, but good speed in the race, I think, with Grey Worm, and there was another one, Buffalo River will go forward. So I'm going to be backing Crea Dearest as my best of the weekend. Race 8, number 11 in Sydney at about $2.70. Give it strength. Frame Train, I love watching racing at Moonee Valley. Been fortunate enough to be there a couple of times for Cox Plate Day. It is so good. And they're back at the Valley this weekend for All-Star Mile Day, which has got a cracking field. What have you got for us at in Melbourne, mate?
I really like one in race 3. Tempted, like with Sugar Boom, I reckon it's probably one of the better bets in the country. That's Too Close to the Sun, number 2. I think Persan had a great prep, last prep, first and second, a good 5th in the Melbourne Cup. First up here, 2,040 metres with 60.5 kilos. I just think Too Close to the Sun's a good Moonee Valley horse. It's going to lead here with not too much pressure outside of it. And I just think it's a really good bet. I've seen it pissing at the Valley before, and I'm hoping it just does that again. So yeah, I think it's a great bet, 390. I think the market over bet Persan.
One from one track, and never missed a place over 2,000 metres Too Close to the Sun, which is a fucking shame because one of my 2 bets in Melbourne is definitely Persan. I think every time we've gone head-to-head, you've won. So the punters will back Too Close to the Sun, I'm sure. But I'm with Persan. Actually gets a claim, so it comes into 57.5 kilos. I take your point, first up 2,000 metres, but I think Kieran Maher, Dave Eustace know what they're doing. Last start was a 5th in the Melbourne Cup. I actually think it'll sit outside Too Close to the Sun, and they'll probably control the race. Can't see it going back for barrier 9. It should just go and sit outside. Hopefully Persan's ready to go and it's too good. Might take the Quinella in that race, Frame Train. So I'm race 3, number 1. Frano's race 3, number 2. What's your other best in Melbourne? And I'll just tell you which race I am betting in. And if you are in at 2, then we're on for it again. I'm in race 5.
I'm in race 4. My next sort of each way play in Melbourne is dollar for dollar first up. Got to be with this horse after its first up run last prep. Or no, it wasn't. It was first up. The sort of form guidelines. I think it had a spell and then came back in the race where it came second to Behemoth. I just think Moonee Valley. I don't think it's ever raced there at Moonee Valley before, but it'll sit outside the lead, or it will lead with Ancestry. One of them will lead, hoping that there's a nice sort of on pace bias at Moonee Valley like there is. They don't go too hard. Those 2 out in front, and then it's a good horse, and I'm happy to be with it at $7.50 and $2 a place. So you get your money back if it runs a place. So I think it's a good bet, good each way bet.
Very good. Yeah, I like that each way. I thought Ancestry, if it was 1,000 or 1,100, I was keen on Ancestry, but then I just left it alone. I actually thought dollar for dollar. Jamie Carr, as you said, second to Behemoth, first up last start, and then last prep, and then it ran second at Flemington over 1,200 metres, beaten a pimple by Zutori, which won the Newmarket last week, obviously. So, yeah, good horse. And first up record, 6 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds. So I like that about the $7 Frayne Train. I'll back you in there on the each way. My other bet is in race 5. I'll just be with the favourite here, Cherry Tortoni. I think we'll get better than $1.95, which they're offering at the moment. Young Werther's probably the only real danger, I reckon. Although Cherry Tortoni did run second to a horse at 300 to 1 last start in the Guineas. So, but I just love Cherry Tortoni here. Third up. Good stats at Moonee Valley, good stats third up, hasn't been 1 from 1, and barrier 4 should just sit 1 off the fence, and 3 pairs back come with a good run, and even if there is an on-pace bias, I think he can be sort of a length or 2 off them on the turn and go past them. So race 5, number 1, the Alistair Clark for me is Cherry Tortoni. Frayne Train, our $100 spends. I mean, I'm fucking getting banked. Debt collectors knocking on my door. I think I'm at like negative 200 and something. I didn't do the reconciliation on yours, but you'd be beating me. What have you found for us in terms of your play for the weekend?
I'm just going to go two $50 win bets. One on Too Close to the Sun, one on Sugar Boom. I just think they're the ones I want to be with this week.
All right. Well, if Sugar Boom doesn't win, we're both fucked because I'm going to go. And now I will change this if it's a heavy track. All right. I'm going to clip this up and put it all over social media. If it does get to a heavy, I won't be backing Sugar Boom. Otherwise, I'll be just doing my normal multi-play, which has been fucking horrendous the last few weeks. I'll go Sugar Boom, all up Korea Dearest. That'll pay about $6, something like that. So I'll have 100 on that to get me out of jail and maybe put some food in the fridge. So that's racing, Frayne Train. And then, of course, the NRL starts tomorrow night. I don't know if you've I didn't ask you this beforehand, but I don't know if you've had a look at the games for this weekend. Obviously, the Storm and the Rabbitohs kick off tomorrow night. I think it's a round one's obviously always fucking tricky. A lot of people getting involved in the inside feed NRL tipping comp, which is great. That little kitty is building sensationally, and I'm no doubt it will swell over the next 24 hours. Anything you like in the league this weekend, or just happy to watch on?
There was only, I think there was 2 ones that were generous odds, and I think that's Melbourne Storm tomorrow night. Just a freak of a club, and you're getting $1.90. I know Cameron Smith's not playing, but they got a pretty handy replacement in his namesake, Brandon Smith. I think that's a great bet. The other one that's a good bet, the only other only favourite I really wanted to bet against was New Zealand Warriors. They've got a great record against the Gold Coast Titans, and I just think they're worth a play at $2.14, or even take them with the line. They're playing down at Gosford. I think the line's 4 points. I know there's been big raps on the recruits for Gold Coast, but they'll probably take a couple games to string it together. And that was the only one that really grabbed me.
Yeah, I think it's Saturday. So the Roosters and the Seagulls play. You'd think the Roosters will win that. The Panthers and the Cowboys play. You'd think the Panthers will win that. And then Sunday, the Raiders play the Tigers. You'd think the Raiders win that. All home teams, all better teams in their opposition. So I'm going to take the multi Roosters, Panthers, Raiders at about $2.20. That would be my play. And I think the last game on Sunday night, the Dragons play the Sharks. I think the Sharks are fucking horrible this year. I think the Dragons are paying $2.20 as well. So that will be my other play for the weekend, the Dragons. Won't be betting on the Broncos, but if they win, I'll be tipping the Broncos because I've figured out if I don't tip the Broncos this week and they lose by 40 this week, I'll never fucking tip them again for the season. So I just want to have one game where I can cheer them on. So I'll just tip the Broncos and say a little prayer before Friday night at about 7 o'clock Brisbane time. Other than that, 2 games of rugby union. First one is the Force play the Rebels over in Perth. The Rebels, I think, will win that, although they'll probably just shoot penalty goals like Tamua does every week and not actually score a try. But I think they've got a bit too much class for the Force potentially. But the big game Saturday night is the Brumbies and the Reds down in Canberra. The Reds have named a fucking good side. Lukan Solokai-Lotto is back. Brandon Pangamosa's back on the bench. Suliasi Vunivalu is starting on the wing. I can't believe, unless he's injured, they've squeezed out Hamish Stewart from 12 to he's fucking like, if club rugby was on this weekend, he'd be playing. He's not even on the bench, which surprises me. But I think it was just the way the balance of the team looked. So that leaves Patea and Piasami in the centres. So I'm going to back the Reds because I actually haven't looked at a market, to be honest, but no doubt the Brumbies would be favourite.
$65, $2.20 or something, I think.
All right. So, yes, I mean, you're getting $2.20 for the Reds. To be fair, I mean, the Brumbies have been outstanding. This in the first 3 rounds, I think they've played all rounds maybe. Their set piece is enormous. But, the Reds have a great opportunity here. Of course, they're missing their skipper, Liam Wright. But other than that, they look just about full strength. So I'll be playing the Reds there at about, I think you said 220, 230 on Saturday night. So Thursday night, Storm Rabbitohs, Friday night, Broncos, Saturday racing, Saturday afternoon, evening, 3 games of NRL, and then the Super Rugby on Saturday night. Reds, Brumbies. What a fucking time to be alive.
Yeah, good.
Unbelievable. The other thing that's on the weekend is the Players' Championship in the golf. And normally I wouldn't talk golf on this, but I think Justin Thomas is a great bet at about $12.
What's he paying? $12?
About that, $12, $13. And I'm gonna multi it into him winning the Masters as well. I just think it's his year to win the Masters, and that multi will pay about $250 or something. But so I think Justin Thomas Players' Championship. Just have $5 on it or whatever you want to do. Gamble responsibly.
He's paying $5 for the top 5. That could be.
There you go. Top 10 is probably $2 something. I don't mind that sort of play. Waking up Friday morning, if you're like me, you do a bit of exercise, although it doesn't fucking show, and then put the golf on for 3 hours and just chip away in your emails. It's an outstanding way to spend your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning. That's about it. There's NBA games on. There's too much to fucking watch, but God bless it all. Other than that, Frayne Train, that's about it. We'll probably do these Wednesday night moving forward because there's a league on Thursday night and we don't want to miss it. So hopefully we've found some winners this weekend. If the heavy track is not happening at the Gold Coast and Sugar Boom can lead and which it will win. And then Creaderis. I mean, my multi is just looking fantastic. Although I thought that last 2 weeks and I don't think any of them have won. But that's punting. Right, Frayne Train. Until next week, let's find some winners for fuck's sake.
Thanks, mate. Bring it on.
Cheers.